All right, here we are, April 23rd, Impact Weekly Huddle. I'm recording. Sorry for the delay, everybody. We'll get rolling real quick. For the people that were looking for it on Impact, it will be recorded and put on Impact this afternoon. Sorry about the delay. Of course, Facebook changed all their settings, and it wouldn't let me go live on there for some reason, so I'm going to have to mess with that. A couple quick housekeeping things. As always, make sure you sign up for Shareholder Summit, expshareholdersummit.com. It's 17th to 21st. That allows you to get on the roster, also see all the breakout sessions that are coming up. Breakout sessions include everything from EXP Global, all the international stuff that's coming up, what's available in that area, growth and attraction. So if you want to grow your agent attraction, there's going to be plenty of classes on that. EXP Commercial, about our parent company, EXP World Holdings, which owns all the subset companies, including Verbella and Success Magazine, Showcase IDX, all of those things that EXP World Holdings owns as a conglomerate. If you don't know about that, that is very important to get some knowledge in that. So make sure you watch those breakout sessions and make sure you're on the main stage and catch all of those things. Make sure you listen to Glenn Sanford, and he's talking about what is going on in the company, what's the future of the company, where we're going. I've been listening to a lot of interviews with him lately, and he's talking more and more about a national platform similar to Zillow that EXP is going to create. And that's why we bought Showcase IDX. I've said it a million times. I'll say it one more time. As a company with no franchises, when we go into a territory, EXP Corporate is the one that buys the rights to the IDX feed and the MLS in that area. So no other company has that. All other companies, the franchise owners buy that feed, and the parent company does not have access to that. Because we have access to all of these MLSs throughout North America and soon around the world, for the areas that do have MLSs, they're going to connect all of those into a platform for the public, a publicly facing feed that is going to rival Zillow, and that is going to not only be a huge advantage to us as agents, but will be attached to one of the bigger platforms, and hopefully ultimately the biggest platform if it can rival Zillow at some point. Of course, they've got a huge head start, but that is going to be a great advantage for agent attraction, for our business, and not to mention the stock. Because it'll be a revenue producing platform that will blow our stock hopefully through the roof, and you guys are in extremely early in the big picture. So I'm sure he's gonna, if you watch interviews, he'll talk more about that, and you can see those interviews. They usually post them in Workplace, which you guys should be in every day. He may not talk about it on the main stage at shareholders because it might be too early, and a lot of people might not even understand it. And that's why I talk about it in the huddle all the time, so people can understand what's coming down the pipe. So, as always, Impact Worldwide, announcements, interviews, training, live streams, agent introductions, Impact News, EXP resources and news. That all goes on the Worldwide Impact Group. If you want to talk about real estate and business to business type things, asking questions about, attorneys and what's the best thing for this and what's the best things for that, and the services that you offer, go over to Impact Group Real Estate Collaboration. If you don't already, if you aren't a member of that, go ahead and join that. We'll let you in on that and spread the word as well. So this is something, Kevin's on this call, so I used you as an example, Kevin. Hopefully you're all right with that. But a lot of people don't know that they have their own join link and their own page for for joining and people learning about EXP. So if people are like, hey, I want more information about EXP, send them to your join link. So it's your first and last name .exprealty.careers. So there's no www in front of that. And every agent has one when they come aboard. So for instance, if we go, I'm going to try this and hopefully I don't screw something up, but let's go to ours. So you just start typing LePage. Well, we'll just go to Kevin. Pop that right in there, and there's Kevin's page. So hopefully you can see that. Everybody has this page, first and last name .exprealty.careers. You can apply as an agent. So if someone says, how do I get started? You send them to your join link. You see Kevin's name at the bottom, his phone number. They hit apply as an agent and they sign right up. They can do it here as well. There's all sorts of other great information about our company and where it ranks. And they, as you could see, apply as an agent throughout. There's videos. There's everything you can imagine in here. Introductions, slide decks. So just if you haven't seen this, go in there and look at it for yourself and make sure you know how to get to it quickly. There is no www in front of it, so make sure you try it out. You know where to get it. Store it in your phone. Store it on your laptop. Because when someone asks you, you don't want to look kind of like a clown trying to. I don't even know how to get to my own website. So make sure you go ahead and spread the word about that as well to other people. Something that is very important. We've been talking about My EXP, the dashboard for your organization and RevShare and everything that's attached to you. So if you go into EXP Enterprise and you do the drop down and you click on My Business, you're going to see something, I forgot what they call it, but it's where your RevShare is. And when you click on that, you're going to see the old RevShare dashboard, which I should have showed you. And then at the top, you're going to, because that dashboard is abandoned, there's a new one called My EXP. So if you click on the little link at the top of the old dashboard, you'll see a sentence and there's a live link in the sentence. You can get to My EXP. And My EXP shows you your revenue dashboard, revenue share dashboard, how many agents you have in your organization, how many are coming aboard. It shows you every level. There's all sorts of great information around there in that. But what I wanted to show you today is when you go into that dashboard, it's going to look like this, meaning the bottom part, like not all these pop-ups. I just kind of made them big so you could see it. It's going to look like this. If you click over here on the left and you hit revenue share, you're going to see all that vital information about your organization and hopefully your revenue share for the month and last month and what's coming up going forward. But if you go into the upper right and you click the little arrow next to your name, which you can see in that big circle, you can click on My Upline. And that shows you all of the people in your upline. So the importance of this is so that you can reach out to them if needed. I'll say this very clearly, a lot of those, as you start getting 2 and 3 and 4 levels up, they may not know who you are because there's just so many people. We have over 2,500 people in our organization. Obviously, I don't know everybody. I'd like to, but it's almost impossible. But the important thing is, the first thing, if you need something, reach out to your sponsor and ask them for direction if they don't know what to do. If they don't know, then go to someone who you feel might know in your group. I would be glad to help you. There's lots of people on this call that have the knowledge to help you and give you direction at the very least. But this upline is very important, especially if you have someone for agent attraction that is a very big player. They do a lot of transactions and they're thinking about coming over, or a very large team. But I'll say it again, always start with your sponsor and then kind of go within the people that you know within your organization. But I just wanted to put this here so that you guys knew who was in your upline at the very least. Because those are the people that support you, and it's if you do well, they do well. So they should help you. Any questions on this or how to find it? Or all right, another talkative group as usual. Next thing, I've had a ton of people constantly ask, how do I get my website set up for KV Core? Or we have a new agent coming aboard and they're not real techie, and they're going to learn how to use KV Core by going to the classes in EXP World, but they don't want to go through the process of setting up all of their own website on their own. They're just not going to do that. So if you guys wanted to pay someone to do it, we use Sandy Marshall, and she's built sites for people all over the country, including Canada. And she's very, very familiar with KV Core, especially. And you can go to realestatewebsitesetup.com. This is not like a promotion of her, but she helped us with many of our agents, and she's awesome at doing it. And she's got all sorts of different services. All her pricing is right on there. So if you guys are interested yourself, or just want to kind of put this in the back of your head in your notes, realestatewebsitesetup.com is where you'd find it, and all of her pricing and all of her services are in there. So I just thought I'd share that because so many people keep asking that. She also kind of puts a little promotion on Impact every once in a while, so make sure you look for that. Another thing people ask about constantly is teams. You might be a single agent, and maybe someday in the future you would want to create a team, or maybe someone that is asking about teams. So from a knowledge base, even if you're not considering doing a team or you're already on a team, there's different types of teams at EXP. So there's what's called a self-organized team, and those basically are people that are not affiliated affiliated is the wrong word, but they're not, they're basically just sharing their marketing. So there's a group of people or two people sharing their marketing, and they just want more exposure. They might be sharing some expenses behind the scene, but they're basically two different entities. That's a self-organized team. So that's one type of team. The most common type of team is a standard team. And a standard team is, the primary agent, the team lead, has a $16,000 cap, and then all of their agents have an $8,000 cap. And EXP understands that the team and the team owner is going to provide the team members with some benefits. Therefore, that leverages their business. That's why they get a half cap, because they know that the team is going to take a minimum of 25% from each deal that the agent does, based depending on the amount of value and materials and benefits that the team lead can give. That's why the percentage might change, but it has to be a minimum of 25% that the team lead gets, and in return, the team lead is going to give them benefits like leads or website or marketing or closing coordinator or whatever it may be. You have to provide a team roster. In order to start a team, you have to have a minimum of 6 million and 30 closings in the past 12 months. The final type of team is called a mega icon team. They have a quarter cap, so their agents have a quarter cap. The team lead has a $16,000 cap. There's minimum percentage goes to the team lead, 25%. Obviously, there's a team agreement in place. There's a roster in place. And in order to be a mega icon team, there's a minimum of 40 million in production, 175 closings and transactions, 10 capping agents, and in the previous 12 months. So if you guys want this sheet, you can find it in Enterprise, in Marketing. You can find it. The easiest way to find it is just Google it. Just put EXP Realty Teams, and you'll see this pop up in images. Just click images and you'll get that. Any questions on the teams within EXP? All right.
Wait, Craig?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
So let's say I had an agent who wanted to be on a team. Now that's kind of a side subject, but there's different agents that come on and they don't want to be a sole agent. Is there a resource out there where someone knows of different teams, like is it the broker in charge or somebody that would be a resource for that? Of like, let's say our team was hiring or some other teams were looking to add to their team.
I don't think so, and I don't think people usually put it out there because it's really, everybody has a different criteria of who you want to put on your team, and you don't want like a mass flood of people saying, "Hey, I've been with EXP for a year and I haven't done a deal. I'm just going to join a team and I'll get saved." And that's not who someone wants. They want someone that's a producer.
Nail that.
Yeah, I get that. I was just curious because I was on a Zoom call and someone was saying, yeah, just get someone to sign up and there's people out there that'll take them on their teams. And I'm thinking, really? I don't know that makes sense. First of all, if they were going to come on my team, I really want them to be in my organization.
I have something to say about that.
Go ahead, Karen. Karen's a huge producer up in Winston-Salem, so she can definitely talk to teams.
I generally don't want people who are not in my organization on my team just because. But I would have really I have one agent on my team that joined EXP, left EXP, then joined my team, and we couldn't get her under me. She's amazing, and I would have missed the dance with her on my team had I not been willing to take somebody on my team that's not in my organization. She's under another ecosystem, not our impact org system. But I would say if I had 10 more of her, I would take them. So I would say don't 100% restrict yourself from not taking somebody who's not in our ecosystem just because I love her so much and I'm so glad she's on my team. And I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's what value you bring, of course. And the key thing that Karen said is basically be open-minded. And thank God we're all open-minded because we wouldn't be here right now at EXP. So that is definitely some great advice. Be open-minded and see who that person is and what value they can bring to the team. I mean, that's one of the things that we usually talk about in interviews with agents is, it's not just you come in, we give you leads and we give you everything and it's all on us. It's a relationship and there's responsibilities between both parties. So, yes, we're going to lead, and we're going to lead with giving you the proper tools to grow and succeed. But you also have to bring your own business, and you have to do the work as well. So, some great input on teams. There's also a team page in Workplace, which I did not know about. And there's 2,000 people on this group, so there's probably some pretty good insight here about teams. So if you're interested in learning more about teams or have a team, maybe join the team group. And leverage is the most important thing. So if you're thinking about a team, and these are not in 100% order, but if you're thinking about, starting a team, you should have a good amount of production yourself to start. You should be doing a good amount of deals. You should be basically creating your own path by, you're at the point where you need to leverage yourself, maybe with an administrator. So if you have an admin, they're going to take and give you more time because you're getting more time by not doing the things you shouldn't be doing. Same thing with the closing coordinator. If you're stuck doing all of the stuff for closings, um, you're probably costing yourself one or two deals a month because you're like, depending on how many deals you're doing. So closing coordinator is huge as well. Showing assistant. I talked to someone yesterday. She was um, showing people 20 and 30 homes, and it's like, how much time does that take? And there's no guarantees. So that might be, if you're in a market where there's you know you're showing that many things, like homes and properties, you should probably think about having a showing assistant. But people are really scared. They're like, oh, I've got to pay them per showing, and it's going to cost me so much money. Well, how much is your time worth? Think of how much you're worth an hour, and then compare it to that showing assistant. And then once you have, you're doing a good amount of business, leverage yourself with buyer agents, and then beyond that, buyer and listing agents. We have agents on our team that do both, and they're good at it. So why not let them? There's this thing that was created, you
So
know,
agree with you.
yeah, by Keller Williams, is like, you're a buyer agent, you can't list. I mean, that's the stupidest thing in the world. They have their own relationships. As long as they're credible and they're able to do it, they should be doing everything. Run your team like a firm ultimately, and you'll succeed at a high level.
Craig, I couldn't agree more with what you just said. I want my agents selling as much as they can sell and making as much as they can make. And listings are easier than buyers. And so why wouldn't we want them listing houses and helping that client through the process? Because then they're in control and in charge of that transaction. And you're right, we expect our agents to bring 50% organic to the team. And if they're bringing 100% organic all the time, then maybe they need to launch, and I need to launch them under EXP, and they can create their own team if they want one.
Yeah.
And I always tell agents that once you get to 25 to 30 transactions, and if you're busy, you need to hire an assistant to help you with everything. And then you add on to that staff long before you add on buyer and seller agents.
100%. 100%. And that is one of the beautiful things about EXP, where that is not true at just about any other company. What Karen just said is, she's willing to say, hey, I'm telling you, if you're that person, you go start your own team if you want to. Not everybody that does a high amount of production is that person. I mean, we have several people on our team that could easily start their own team, but they just don't want to. They don't want it. They don't want all that responsibility. They just want to do what they love, which is, buyers and sellers and hitting numbers. And they have all the leverage behind them with our team and all our systems and our people that help them. And they love that. There's other people that have that drive. And once they grow into that mature agent and are doing enough deals, they might go spread their wings. But at EXP, it's not a loss. It used to be a loss. We were at other companies. We would put our heart and soul into these agents, give them our own business, and then they'd be like, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Now, basically,
Craig,
you
I
have
think
part
it's
ownership of their team because you're sponsoring them. Go ahead, Karen.
100%. And I think it's important for agents to know that when you have a team, everybody thinks, oh, Karen makes 3% of every deal, or 6%, or 1.5%. No. Karen makes more like 0.7 to 0.8% because I have offices, I have staff people, I have marketing expenses, I have all these other expenses. So my agents that are on my team make way more per transaction than I do. And I want that. I want them making a good living and making a lot of money. I manage it, but when I have to jump in and do their job, that's when I don't like it so much.
Yeah, that's another awesome point. She's creating a value prop for her agents, and she's always looking for them to make more. And if they make more, then they are happy. If they have more tools and more help and more leverage, that creates value, and that agent wants to stay and wants to grow, and everybody's happy. They're doing more deals, they're making more money, which ultimately in return would make her as a team owner do more deals. So she's focused on volume of deals, not how much she's making per deal. And that's a very important part and a hard way to think when you have a team. If you're focused on nitpicking every last dollar, then you're going to run into trouble because you're gonna start butting heads with your agents on your team. You always want to try and build leverage for them. Shelly and I are constantly thinking of ways that we could make our agents more money with the opportunities that we have as a team and as people in the industry. And we want them to be raving fans of our team because they're part of that team. It's their team as well. And that attracts talent and attracts people. And if you think that way, I don't think you can go wrong. We'll take less and do more deals any day.
Same. Exact same.
I'm going to skip that slide. We'll do that next time. We started a little bit late and we're running a little bit over time. Couple quick announcements. We'll finish up. We're having a social, yay, in the Charlotte area at the Charlotte National U.S. Whitewater Center. If you haven't been there, it's awesome. It's a lot more than a whitewater center. Rafting and kayaking and all that stuff that goes on around you while you're drinking beer and wine and, sitting with your dog and kids are playing and there's all sorts of stuff. But River Jam is something that they also do. It's Thursday, May 6th at 6 p.m. U.S. Whitewater Center. And it's live music. They have a big open area that's surrounded by water. If you haven't been there, it's an amazing place. And then they have live music. So, things are kind of starting to break up. And, if you want to, if you're one that's vaccinated and you want to just be free, then be free. If you want to just be free, not to get political. And there's plenty of room to set up your blanket or your tent or bring your family. It should be awesome. We got a lot of people going there. And Thursday, May 6th, 6 p.m. So, and another thing, if you're not in the Charlotte area, one, sorry, you're going to miss out. Two, you should start doing this on your own because this brings everybody together and, collaboration. The more you collaborate, the more opportunities you get to meet people, the more doors open. And, for your business, for everything. So bring friends, bring family, bring people from other companies and just show them how we do it, how we have fun. So do that. And if you're in your own area, start planning your own. They don't have to be huge. They could be just like, hey, we're doing a happy hour. Show up. Some of us are going to Cabo in the next couple of days. That's a big fun thing that's going on for EXP, a mastermind down in Mexico. But if you aren't going to make it to that, another one you can go to is in Scottsdale, and that's on Scottsdale, Arizona, May 13th to 15th. We've gone to a couple of these. They're awesome. They're always at nice resorts, nice places, and it's a great way to meet people and talk about how the leading agent attractors in the company are doing it. And I think one of the most important things also is when you make those relationships, if you have someone that you're talking to, it just gives you another person to match them to. And what I mean by that, if you meet someone in Scottsdale and they're from Remax and they're a top producer and they have a good rev share group, and you go and meet someone here on the East Coast and they're like, I'm at Remax, and that might be a good person to match with them and say, hey, Susie, can you do me a favor and hop on a Zoom call with me? This agent's at Remax. You were at Remax. You can talk as far as, what that company was about and what your results have been since you've come to EXP. And 9 out of 10 times people are going to do that if you met them. So Scottsdale is just one of those places. There's going to be a lot more of these all around the country. This is on Brent Gove Resources or brentgove.com. Brent's awesome at doing these and setting these up. So try and make it there as well. As always, I always leave this in here. Lean on each other as far as agent attraction and building your business. You guys have any questions, lean on the people that you look up to, whoever that may be. within the organization. That's what the impact group is. That's what EXP is. So find someone that you can reach out to, and we just share in everybody's success together. So thanks for coming. There will not
Thanks,
be,
Greg.
thank you, Karen, for your input. There will not be a huddle next week. I'll send you pictures from Cabo.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
Bye, Kathy.